Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and today is going to be, well, it's a day that, to be blunt, has been coming for just a bit, and if you've been paying close attention, this probably won't surprise you too much. Maybe it will, I don't know, but it's a little bit of a somber day, and I don't even really know how to really start this with you guys, so I guess I'm just going to jump into it. You know, I started this whole thing, or I started Olympus. We produced our first snake in 2015. I can tell you that. And we started acquiring snakes probably around 2012. So, you know, this has been something that I got the idea. We've been breeding now, actually breeding for, this is what, 2024? So this is our 9th year. So 8 years of production, starting with, you know, a clutch, right? And then a few clutches and a few more. And so it's been this nice steady growth over time to get where it is. Before that, it was, you know, just getting some pet snakes and hanging out and hanging with your buddies and, you know, doing that. And then it's continued to grow and grow and grow. So this has been a season of my life now for well over a decade. In total. If you go back even further, I mean, I've had reptiles since I was a kid, right? So you can go back to the time I was about 8 years old, and this tracks back that far for me in just keeping reptiles. With that, you know, there's some things that you don't necessarily consider when you start doing this. You know, like it eats up a lot of time and a lot of effort. You know, the days when, like, my buddies would come up, this is before I knew you, by the way, and, you know, we'd play some cards, drink a few beers, and feed 5 or 6 snakes, or even 30 snakes, or whatever it was. And even when we had the first rattlesnake, we'd feed the rattlesnake, then drink a few beers. Gotta be smart, right? Those days are gone. And now it's like, hey, man, we got to come here. We got to put in these long hours. We got to put in all this time and all these things that we need to do. And you know, I loved it. But man, it's just taken over such a large part of my life that the truth of the matter is, guys, I have got to, I've got to step back. And when I say step back, I mean, I'm going to roll that clock back for me to the beginning, right? You know, I'm not going to not have reptiles, but I'm not going to do this anymore. This is going to cease in some ways for me. Now, I don't take that as the market sucks or the market's bad. It's got literally nothing to do with the market. It's got literally nothing to do with the money in it. It's got literally nothing to do with any of that. It all comes down to, you know, my time, how much of it I don't have, and where I want to put that time at this point in my life. And to be blunt, there are other things in my life right now that are other things I'm passionate about. I'm a man of many passions. Don't tell that to my wife. But anyway, you get my point. So there's other things that I want to do. With that, I'm very proud of what Olympus is. I mean, if you followed our story, we literally grew this from nothing. This was built out of a pile of dust. There was nobody who came in and gave me money to start it. There was no loans to start it. I didn't have a big pile of money. As a matter of fact, when I started this, I was just fresh off of a divorce. And if you've ever been fresh off of a divorce, you're usually pretty fucking broke, man. So was I at that point. And so it literally started with nothing. We took nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean nothing. Like, the idea of spending $200 on an animal when this started was a painful, painful thing, right? Because I didn't have that. You know, $200 meant, could I eat that week? Because that's where I was, fresh off of a divorce. And we grew this, you know, it's something that I started, and then not long after I started, Kurt came on board, and we grew. And to be blunt, Kurt was also fresh off a fucking divorce, so it wasn't like Kurt was an angel investor and dropped 25, 30 grand into this. Kurt was like, hey man, can I live in the basement while we do it? Sure, buddy. Like, that's where we were. We were poor as shit, right? And I'm very proud of that. I'm not very proud of being poor as shit. It happens to all of us at times. But I'm very proud of being able to build something from nothing. You know, and just because I'm going to step back and get to where I just deal with a few things or keep a few things or whatnot, doesn't mean Olympus is going to go away. So what's going to kind of happen now is I'm going to kind of rotate out. I'm going to tap Caleb in. And this is where you've kind of seen lately, you've kind of seen me, I don't want to say unplug, but that's probably the right word, right? I haven't been as involved in the videos in the last month or so while I've been wrestling with this. And these guys have kind of known this is something I'm thinking about. And you've seen Caleb more on the videos. There's been a reason and a method behind it. But it's time. So what we're going to do now is Caleb will be the new front man, the new face of Olympus. Kurt will still be the lead guitarist if we're going to make this like a rock band, right? He's still going to be putting that all together and everything else. And I'll still be around. I'll still live across the way, still own part of the house. I'll be kind of like that bass drummer, the guy in the back you never see who strums 3 fucking notes and doesn't really do shit, and every now and then gets to bang a chick. That'll be me in the rock band. And mainly it's going to be with the venomous stuff because that's really where my passion lies. But all the daily work, the daily production, and most of the daily finances, because if you ain't doing the work, you don't get the success from that, right? Is going to no longer be my burden. And I do say burden, because when you get to this size, it is a burden. It's no longer, I have 3 or 4 pets that are fun. It's no longer, oh man, check out my badass rattlesnake that I'm going to feed and fuck with and play with because I love it. Or these cool ass Gila monsters. See where my brain really is? I've got 300 ball pythons, including babies that need fed, that need cleaned, that need watered, and they need it all the fucking time. And every day after work, I got to come here most days. Caleb's been a fucking blessing because I haven't had to do as much, but he wants it. And I don't. So, you've heard me say a lot of times recently that it's not about the money. And that phrase gets taken out of context so much, so much. What I've always meant by that is money's a factor. I'm not going to pay to make this thing go myself. I have to make money to do this at this size. Plain and simple. Everybody likes making money. But I haven't let money dictate my decisions. And I'm still not going to. So this is a decision not dictated by money. Actually, I'm going to lose money. But that's okay because there's a few other things I'm going to be chasing and doing. And, we'll share that eventually if we choose to. But, well, I guess not me. If he chooses to have me come share it, I'll be a guest speaker. Yeah. So, Caleb, without further ado, I guess you should say a few words, man.
Yeah. So obviously there is going to be a little bit of a transition period when it comes to videos.
No, there's not. Get good. I'm fucking gone, dude. The transition period already fucking happened.
So, still going to be kind of working some of that stuff out. We've talked, we're still going to keep the same schedules we always have, just keep things consistent. Not a lot is going to change for you guys as far as Patreon, how many videos, things like that. Obviously everyone has their own way of doing things, so some things you might see change, like you might see me phase out some snakes and phase some new things in. So you've probably already seen that on Discord. I've picked up a couple cobras, I've picked up some gargoyle geckos, started buying into hognose and dart frogs and stuff like that, so you'll see kind of a little bit of shift. The primary focus is still going to be ball pythons, but there will still be some added things in there as we diversify just a little bit. You will definitely see a little bit more clown stuff.
Sorry, I just dived a little bit inside, just a little bit.
But for the most part, still going to be some venomous stuff. Obviously, we bought some cobras. It is a pair, so we'll be doing some of that stuff. Mess around with that. But as far as everything else in the base layer and what Olympus is, it'll still be relatively the same, just a little bit of a different flair on it. Other than that, I don't really know what else to... It's not really a video we kind of planned. It was just like we didn't really know what to say.
No.
So we just kind of get there when we get there, I guess.
I'll still be around. There'll be a lot of feed nights I'll still pop in, but maybe I pop in for an hour and fuck off and leave, Maybe I pop in for film night and fuck off. Maybe I come over to hang out with Caleb and help clean the water one day, and then go home after an hour, because I do love it. I just can't have it eating up all my time.
Yeah.
And so, are you excited?
I am. I have a lot of... Yeah, I'm excited.
Good. Because the other part is, if, this has been something that's been this isn't a decision I made yesterday. Okay, this is something that you see come in, but you also have to find the right person, right? When you built something that you love, and I do love it, and you're proud of, and I am proud of that. And I know there's people out there who are going to bitch and moan. You know what? You can all, at this point, I don't care. Kurt can't say much. I'm leaving anyway. You can eat a dick if you want to bitch and moan about how I did things. I did it from nothing. I didn't have mama and daddy helping me out. I didn't have an inheritance. I didn't fucking cancel a 401k I didn't have. I do have a retirement pension, but you can't dig into that shit. They ain't allowed until you're a certain age. I didn't have none of that shit, man. What I had was a pile of debt from a divorce, and I built something from nothing. Period. End of discussion. And ain't nobody ever can say anything, talk shit, and take that away, or they can try, but most of those people I don't even pay any attention to because they're as insignificant as a flea. And so I guess all I'm trying to say is you can't just be like, oh, fuck it, I'm out, unless I wanted to sell all this off, which I don't. I don't want it to stop, So it took a while, and Kurt can't do it on his own. Love Kurt, but he doesn't live here. He's 45 minutes away, roughly 40 minutes away. And how's the rats? I mean, like, if I were to leave, like, Kurt, fuck it, man, it's your problem. There's no way, is there, Kurt?
No.
No, there's no way. It is a 2-man operation. Should be a 3-man operation, which it is right now. And it really should probably be a 4-man operation at times, but, well, we don't have that luxury. So it was a matter of having to find, too, a person that I felt comfortable taking it over. And by comfortable, they had to have the knowledge. They had to have the ability. They had to have the desire. They don't have to think the same way. Caleb and I don't think the same way on everything. We do a lot of shit. But, he loves clown. And I think clown's dog shit. And I thought clown was dog shit when it was super valuable. I thought clown was dog shit now that it's normal priced. I thought it was dog shit before it was super valuable. By dog shit, I don't mean it sucks. I'm not bitching anybody by making. That's just not my jam. I love me some Exantic. This collection, if you were to go through and look at everything we built on I wanted to make it all on my own. I didn't want to cheat. There's a lot of shit coming through on the Exantic phase that the only thing I'm really sad about is some of that may not see the fruition that I hoped it would see because I'm leaving. I'm hoping some of it does. But, there will definitely be more clown. That's the control I had to give away, right? But it's in good hands. If somebody else had to do it, I couldn't think of a better person to take this and, everybody wants to see a legacy continue on, right? I don't care about that because if the idea was, hey, I made something, Caleb, you just take it and you just keep it running, that's pretty fucking, I don't know, that's overselling us as human beings. What I'm hoping to see is when it goes here, not only does it continue, but it grows in new ways with new ideas and thrives. And it builds and expands upon what I started. It gets better, right? Not just, keep it going, because that's just going to eventually die. So hope to see it expand and grow with everything else. I don't know about the damn cobras, man. Fucking Olympus and shit. God damn. You can't do venomous the same way. That's the hard shit. Now, they're cool, but I still,
Yeah.
And if there's anything you'll still see me somewhat heavy-handed in, it is probably my rattlesnakes. That's probably the thing. But otherwise, it's your show, right?
Absolutely. For now. We're going to try.
So I guess the only thing left to say on this is you should look at the dates. You can mark this date down of when we're making this transition. And so check that really quick and know that on this day, which will be April 1st of 2024, this transition's happening. And if you haven't figured out yet that I'm completely full of shit and I'm still going to be here every fucking day, it's April Fool's, motherfucker. That being said, Caleb is still going to be heavily involved, has been. And like we've said, one thing that is not April Fool's, and we've talked about in these videos, that you're going to have more ideas from Caleb coming in. That is true, because 3 heads are going to make better than 1. It's going to bring in more things. Even the stupid clown that I don't like, you are actually going to see more clown. That part is true. You also are going to see things like some cobras. That part is true. You're not going to see a king cobra. I said, fuck that. I also said no mambas, because there's just some shit that I don't deal with, and those are the ones. But you may see we've talked about some tree vipers eventually, right?
Yep.
And we've talked about some other things that we want to do because there's more chefs in the kitchen and more ideas. And as long as we can manage all the egos and things, I think we do a good job of. Mm-hmm. We're going to be fine. But I'm still going to be here. I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting. And don't any of you say, oh, man, when I looked at the date at the very end, you told me to, then I knew. If you were with this story for that long, then fuck you, I got you. Which is okay. We all get fooled sometimes, myself included. I mean, we all may be getting fooled right now.
I was staring at that bucket the whole video. Because if I looked at Curtis or I looked at you, I was going to start laughing.
You know, we'll work on your acting skills as you do more videos. You will see Caleb in more videos, too. That part is not a lie. All the stuff leading up to this about seeing more of Caleb and more of those ideas, all true, 100%. I want you guys, when you watch this, to think of this from this point going forward, the same way we think of it is that, you've always thought of it as a partnership, hopefully, between me and Kurt, whether we call him, the camera guy Kurt or whatever. And for those who wonder, it is spelled with a C. The Rat King, I've seen that before. All kinds of shit that people try to call him. It's always been partnership there, right? Well, Caleb's a partner as well. I mean, he didn't build it from the ground up, so I'm not going to tell you but ideal-wise, things he puts into wise, yes, he's on equal partnership with the rest of us. And his partnership is also rewarded through, if we make money, he makes money. If we don't make money, he don't make money. If we lose money, I guess you don't lose money. What the fuck? How'd that happen? But anyway, slight oversight on my part. We'll fix that. Don't worry. No, I'm kidding. But April Fool's Day, guys. This is it. I'm not going anywhere. You're still going to see me all the time. We just wanted to kind of spend some time setting this up and have a little fun. Hopefully it doesn't get canceled. My last April Fool's joke, YouTube took down. You remember that one? Did you ever watch that before it went down?
I did.
Did you think I was bit?
No, because I'm pretty sure you told me before you did it.
Did I tell you? Were we hanging out then? That was like way back in the day.
I was at the shop.
Oh, okay. I had people who watched that, and they'd go, oh, man, when you took the bandage off, I knew it was fake. You didn't get me. I'm like, bro, you hung out for 15 minutes, and then you're going to tell me I can't act and I didn't get you? Go fuck yourself, because unless you turned that on and went, this is bullshit in the first 30 seconds, then we got you. Which is okay. It's what the day's for.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and guess what? I will still see you next week.